Alright guys, Revolve Rostler here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble 2017 pay-per-view. Two things first. One, my voice is horrible, that's why I've got water. And two, I'm currently in the middle of watching NXT. I'll have that watched by the end of today to hopefully get a review up tomorrow or even maybe later today. That would be nice. I've only watched one match, the opening match with Eric Young and Ty Dillinger, but I watched the Rumble, of course, last night, as everybody else did. It's not like a conflicting show that I'm seeing people like hate on it so much, but it's a show that I think, shockingly, I genuinely enjoyed pretty much everything on the show. I think they made one or two hiccups here and there regarding the Rumble, which I'll get to when we talk about the Rumble. But anyway, we of course have to start with the pre-show, and our first match on the pre-show was a 6-women's tag, SmackDown Live Women's Tag, as the team of the SmackDown Live Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya took on Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi. I can't remember a lot from this matchup. Me and my friend were talking a lot during this, and I literally only just caught the finish in the corner of my eye. Naomi won with the split leg moonsault. Everything I saw looked fine. I'll give it 2 stars. Naomi beat Alexa Bliss with the split leg moonsault, so it looks like we're going to be going for that program. Becky Lynch and Mickie James can have their little program, and Nikki Bella and Natalya can finish their program at Elimination Chamber. We could have all the women in the Elimination Chamber and have the first ever Women's Chamber, as you know, Raw get all the accolades for their women, the first Hell in a Cell, first pay-per-view main event. Maybe we should give the SmackDown women something. I mean, and not just the first ever women's table match. But 2 stars was fine. Warsaw was fine. And the booking of it was fine as well. Moving on, we had the Raw Tag Team title matches. Anderson and Gallows took on Cesaro and Sheamus. I just never think title matches should be on the pre-show. And these 2 teams are big teams on Raw. And I just think they deserve the spot on the main show. There was 20 minutes left on the main show after the Rumble finished. So maybe they could have squeezed them in. But, you know, the hindsight's 2020. This match again was kind of fine, a little bit better than your average TV quality. A little bit shocking in the finish. Sheamus takes down Luke Gallows, eventually gets kicked by Gallows, and in the end, Carl Anderson rolls up Cesaro, grabs the tights, 1, 2, 3. The second referee is literally, he gets knocked out by Sheamus with a bro kick, so he's ineffective in the finish. What's the point in a gimmick if there's no gimmick? But yeah, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. I gave the match 2.5 stars. It was fine. Above TV quality just about, but I would have expected a little bit more from these guys. I know they were put on the pre-show. If they were put on the main show, they could have had a much better match, but it was fine for what it was. And then the final pre-show match was Sasha Banks against Nia Jax. This was a squash, and I'm just very disappointed. Me and my friend generally said this could actually be quite good. It's different. We haven't seen it before. We haven't seen it 10,000 times. So it could be quite good. It just was very flat, and it lasted 5 minutes. And in the end, the third finish in a row where the finish just came out of nowhere, it was a pop-up Samoan drop. And I guess Nia Jax changes the finisher so often that I just can't nail her finish. And that's actually a good thing sometimes, but it didn't feel like the finish. And that's why I gave the match 1.5 stars, just nothing to it. The main show kicks off, and we start off with the Raw Women's title match, Bayley against Charlotte. We have a real quality match here. Very good stuff from these 2 women. Bayley actually busted Charlotte open with an elbow drop off the top, a very Macho Man-esque elbow tribute to the late great. Charlotte locked in the figure 8 at one point and actually used the ropes for leverage, but what I thought was quite a good spot, but the referee caught her. But in the end, a finish again that kind of came out of nowhere, although when it happened, I obviously saw it coming, I saw it being the finish. Bayley went up top, she fell onto the apron, and Charlotte hit a natural selection onto the apron. I hate the fact that every pay-per-view needs an apron spot, because the apron spots are so overdone, and it just takes away the importance of it. It'd be like doing an announce table spot on every pay-per-view. Oh wait, they do that now as well, don't they? Haha. But in the end, I thought this was a pretty good little matchup. 3.25 stars, the first real quality thing on the show. Good work from both women. Not quite like any of their NXT stuff, but still pretty good stuff from these women. 3.25 stars. Charlotte retains. That was my prediction. I will say I predicted the first 2 pre-show matches wrong. I predicted Nia Jax and I predicted Charlotte to retain, obviously. So I was 2-2. Me and my friend did a competition to see who'd get the most predictions. And I'll go into who did at the end. But 3.25 stars, good stuff there. We moved into the Universal title match. So second on the show, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. No disqualification with Chris Jericho suspended in the shark cage. This was great. I really love this matchup. And I loved it even more when I think about it now. There was a lot of spots and it seemed like a spot fest, but I think these guys had quite a nice brawl. And you can see my voice. My voice is going again. I've got to talk about NXT as well. But yeah, they had a nice brawl. There was some great spots. Owens gave Reigns a frog splash for a table on the outside. Very good spot there. There was a lot of stuff with chairs, getting thrown into chairs, etc., etc. Owens at one point was Superman punched by Reigns into a big throne of chairs, a big stack of chairs, and I didn't think that'd get used, but it was a really, really good spot. It was dangerous, but a really, really good spot. Jericho, of course... Sorry. Jericho, of course, at one point did get involved, dropping brass knucks from the top of the shark cage. Owens caught them, went to deck Reigns with them. Reigns, of course, blocked it, but in the end, Owens hit a Superman punch on Reigns with the brass knucks. Such a phenomenal spot. I loved that. That would have been such a good finish if Owens had won that way. It would have been cool, but Reigns kicked out of the brass knucks. Reigns then kicked out of a Stone Cold Stunner, which Owens got an amazing leap on, I'll be honest. But kicked out of that as well. In the end, Roman Reigns, after Superman punching Owens into the stack of chairs, gives him an amazing deadlift powerbomb through one of the announce tables, throws him in the ring, goes to spear him through his table, when who should come out but Brawny the Strowman, pulls him out of the ring, chokeslams him on the announce table, on the corner of the announce table, throws him in the ring, gives him a running power slam through the table, and Owens drapes an arm over Reigns, 1, 2, 3, retains. I gave the match 4 stars. I could have given it like 4.25, and maybe some people have gone 4.5 for this one. I could have given it 4.25 maybe if the finish had been cleaner. But I really did enjoy this matchup, and please don't people forget Roman Reigns is a great worker because of matches like this. And I think this was the environment with Owens where he could have a really, really good match. So kudos to both guys. Then we had the Cruiserweight title, Rich Swann and Neville. This wasn't as good as a 205 match, 205 live match, but that's because A, the crowd were dead, and B, I don't know, just something was missing from this one. Neville was so good here, though. Like, I give the match 3 stars. Neville is the new Cruiserweight champion. He beat Rich Swann with, he hit everything. He hit all his drop kicks and super kicks and stuff like that. Swann hit the head kick. He hit a roundhouse kick. Hit a mitt kick at one point, which I thought was very, very cool. But in the end, Neville superplex off the top rope. Swann kicks out, which you didn't need him to kick out. And then he just locks him in the Beast Bite. And Rich Swann taps out. So Neville is the new Cruiserweight champion. Predictable, but the right way to go. Neville has been so good. And I just hope that he takes 205 Live and has a hell of a long reign. If you can hear, by the way, that water, that is my toilet. It's naff. But 3 stars. I'm so sorry. Staying up till 6 in the morning does this here. 3 stars. Good matchup. The show's going pretty well at this point. And then we move into the WWE World Head Title matchup, AJ Styles and John Cena. This was fucking awesome. And I knew it'd be awesome going into it. I predicted John Cena, I will just say. My predictions at this point were... Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5. Predictions at this point were 5 out of 7, I believe. 5 out of 7. Pardon me. And, pardon me, sorry. 5 out of 7. 5 out of 7. And, Cena and Styles were just fucking amazing. Like, I loved this match so much. I loved every near fall. Cena hitting AA near fall. Styles hit a Styles Clash near fall. Styles hit the Argentine backbreaker. The Argentine powerbomb, sorry. The Ushika Roshi. Cena hit a Avalanche AA3, amazing near fall. Phenomenal forearm near fall. Calf crusher. Cena locked in the STF, which showed he needed to do everything to beat Styles. Styles at one point, calf crusher, turned that into an STF. Awesome stuff there. I had like flashbacks to Angle and Benoit at the Rumble in 2003, where they would just swap submission holds, and that's what Cena and Styles did, and it was absolutely awesome. In the end, Styles hit a second Styles clash, went for phenomenal forearm, how he beat Cena at SummerSlam. Cena caught him on the ropes. AA does the kind of Okada-esque roll through, picks him up, does the roll through, picks him up again, another AA, 1, 2, 3, John Cena is the 16-time world champion. This t-shirt is now obsolete. I don't mind it because John Cena is the 16-time world champion. This is a fucking amazing matchup. It's one of the best matches in both men's careers. People have gone 5 stars for this one. I can't say it's in the league of Omega Okada, but I'm going to give it 4 3/4 and say it's probably the 3rd best match I've seen so far this year behind Tanahashi, Naito, and Okada Omega. Go watch this matchup. Fantastic stuff. Congratulations to both guys because they really had an amazing match. If John Cena loses the belt in 2 weeks at Elimination Chamber, this match was still fucking awesome. And that was my prediction correct. So that's, 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was 5 and 7 at this point after Cena won. Royal Rumble. Okay, so a couple of things we need to get out of the way for the Rumble. One, there weren't a lot of surprise debuts or returns. The only one was the one we all knew was going to happen, but maybe it seems too predictable, is what my friend and me said. We said maybe it's too predictable that we're going to do it, but in the end it happened at the number 10, Ty Dillinger came out. Does this mean he's part of the main roster? I don't know. Sami Zayn was part of the Rumble last year and wasn't part of the main roster for like another month. But Ty Dillinger came out. He had 5 minutes in the Rumble. He was fine. The other surprise entrants were like Cruz, Kalisto, James Ellsworth, who lasted 14 seconds. You know, I think there's good... there's positives and negatives to having surprise entrants. So I think, obviously, surprise entrants are cheap pops, but in the end, they are cheap pops. They are surprise entrants and returns that will last one night, probably. So, again, you can weigh up the pros and cons. I think that this Rumble was very, very good because each man was on the main roster and each man had a purpose. Each man told part of a long-running and a Rumble-long storyline, cohesive story. So it all worked. Couple of little cool moments. Braun Strowman eliminated 7 guys. Ellsworth eliminated Kalisto, Mojo Rawley, Big Cass. Some big eliminations there. Mark Henry and Big Show. And Ty Dillinger would then come out after Big Show was eliminated. Towards the latter portion of the Royal Rumble, Goldberg and Lesnar would finally come out. Lesnar eliminated a couple of men. Goldberg would then eliminate 3 men. They both had a little bit of a stare down. Goldberg speared Lesnar and then clotheslined him out of the ring. Buried him again. Jobbed out Brock Lesnar again, which probably means Lesnar's going to win at Mania. I'm fine with that at this point. Clap to them booking this that angle perfectly again. You've got to have Lesnar fight to beat Goldberg, really. Goldberg would then be eliminated by The Undertaker, who would shockingly appear behind him and eliminate him. Sami Zayn was still in at this point. Chris Jericho had gone an hour until he was eliminated. Sami Zayn went about 46 minutes. Ambrose was eliminated kind of quickly. Miz was one of the final few, I believe. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. There was a cool moment where Luke Harper returned. Well, not returned, but he came out and he was like apparently part of the Wyatt family, but then he gave a discus clothesline to Wyatt and turned babyface pretty much. But then he was eliminated by The Undertaker or Goldberg, I can't remember. But as he got down to the final few, we were waiting to see who number 30 was. Me and my friend, well, what we did was we predicted a winner and then we predicted 3 surprise entrants. So I had Ty Dillinger, Samoa Joe, and I went with Kenny Omega just because why not? I couldn't think of another one. I knew he wouldn't, but my friend went with Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe, Tyler Bates, and Finn Balor. So I genuinely thought when number 30 was like, we didn't know who it was, I thought it'd be Finn Balor. And then number 30 came out and it was Roman Reigns. And I'm very angry at this. I just think it's a waste of a spot. I think it's a big waste of an opportunity for Finn Balor. If Finn Balor's like not back from injury, then that's fine. But Samoa Joe, I mean, you don't have Tyler Bate coming in at number 30. That doesn't make sense. But Jack Gallagher came in, which was a bit of a surprise entrant, to be fair. And he was eliminated quickly by Mark Henry, but that was fine. But yeah, Roman Reigns coming in at number 30. He was in the world title match, so why would he then come in at number 30? It doesn't make any sense. It just was a big fuck you from Vince, and it was the big middle finger, and it just didn't. What it did accomplish was helping the Royal Rumble winner get over. So when the final three was Roman Reigns, firstly eliminated the Undertaker, which was like, how is that going to get Roman Reigns over? How is eliminating the Undertaker going to get Roman Reigns over? But whatever. What do I know about booking pro wrestling? So he eliminates the Undertaker. The final three. Jericho's eliminated and Zayn's eliminated by this point. The final three are Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, two members of the Wyatt family, and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns eliminates Bray Wyatt, goes to spear Randy Orton, gets caught with an RKO, and Randy Orton eliminates Roman Reigns. I knew that Randy Orton was going to win because I'd seen the betting odds, and me and my friend had seen the betting odds, and we were just like, we don't really want him to win at this point, so we'll predict someone else, but it's highly likely that Randy Orton's going to win. The betting odds don't often lie, especially that late into the show. But in the end, Randy Orton eliminated Roman Reigns, got Randy Orton over. And people complaining that Randy Orton won. Randy Orton hasn't main evented in like 3 years. Randy Orton's one of the guys that have carried the company over the past decade. Like, you need to give this guy some props. Like, John Cena deserves some props. Like, maybe he's not the caliber of star John Cena is, but he's a hell of a worker. Like, Randy Orton's a great worker. And I think he's actually been... I think Rey Mysterio said this beautifully. He was just like, Randy Orton's one of the best guys in his company. And I don't think he's the best guy in the company. No. But I think he's one of them. And I'm fine with Randy Orton winning the Rumble because it blends easily into a storyline where Wyatt wins the Bella Elimination Chamber. If that happens, super. John Cena. But if we get Orton Cena again, I will be a little bit cross and I will eat my words. But I do feel like we are going to get Wyatt and Orton for the world title, which doesn't feel like a Mania main event, but they can build it as it. And I didn't want them to rush this storyline, but if they do it, that's fine. And I'm very happy that Randy Orton won as opposed to Roman Reigns. And I love Roman Reigns to bits, and I gave him so much credit with my friend earlier on. I was like, this match with Owens is really, really good, and I've really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So, like, it's great. And then he came out at number 30, and it's not Roman Reigns' fault. And that's what really pisses me off the most, is people like, oh, Roman Reigns again, here we go. This is not Roman Reigns' fault. This is Vince McMahon's fault, because he likes big, sweaty men, and Roman Reigns, unfortunately, is a big, sweaty man. I gave the Rumble 3 3/4 stars. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I enjoyed Sami Zayn. I enjoyed Baron Corbin eliminating Braun Strowman. Big ups to Baron Corbin there. Sami Zayn put in a hell of a performance. Chris Jericho put in a hell of a performance. Goldberg Lesnar stuff was great. Very happy with this Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns coming at number 30 pissed me off, but what can you do? 3 3/4 stars to the Rumble. And in the end, I really enjoyed this Rumble show. And NXT San Antonio, I've only seen one match, and I thought that the opening match with Eric Young's title show was actually pretty good. I've only seen one match, but it's got a lot to live up to. And in the end, I'm going to give this Rumble an 8.5 out of 10, the same as I gave last year's. One amazing matchup with the World title, one great match with the Universal title, and a pretty ace Royal Rumble. And then 2 undercard matches, which were pretty decent. Well, actually good. So, that is my review of the Royal Rumble 2017. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Royal Rumble. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think to Roman Reigns being in at number 30? What do you think to Randy Orton winning the Royal Rumble? What do you think to Bray Wyatt being one of the final few? What do you think to the performance of Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, Jack Gallagher being in the Rumble, Ty Dillinger 10-10-10 making his debut in the Royal Rumble? Do you think there should have been more surprise entrants? Who would you have liked to see? Don't say Kenny Omega because it was never going to happen. That's like me saying Okada, please be in the Rumble. It's not, because Okada's obviously the champ, but thanks for watching, guys. Anyway, this has been Royal Rumble. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I'll try and get my San Antonio review up today or tomorrow. I am in uni tomorrow, so it's going to be tough. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Royal Rumble.